Hello everyone and welcome to Road Atlanta for round 3 of the South African simGT series at Road Atlanta. I'm Jason Holden-Jones and I'm joined by my friend and co-commentator Werner Heenop. Welcome Werner.
Thank you very much, Jason. Looking forward to some exciting racing today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Jason Absma, who's first out of the pits to start this qualifying session, and he's just started his first flying lap in the green RPM sim racing Porsche. Let's see what he can do in something lap. Yeah.
Let's go to on board and get a feel for the track. So he's going through turn 3 and 4 now, straight into the S's. Twisty section here, also the lowest part of the track to the left hand at turn 5. A short straight here leading up to 2 tight right handers, turn 6 and turn 7. Jason went a bit wide there on the previous corner.
And that's very important to get a good drive out of this corner and down the long straight.
Long back straight, probably the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Very long straight going through 8 and a small turn here 9 into a chicane, left right chicane at turn 10. Here we get to the chicane, turn 10, left-hander, right-hander, and then turn 11 and 12 as we go under the bridge and onto the start-finish line. It's 11 and 12. Jason getting a bit wide there. Let's see what he can do. 122.8. We saw Gabriel Rousseau actually doing low 1 minute 20s. So Marcus Steyn already putting in a 121.4. Gabriel Rousseau 120.2 going into pole position so far. All the guys putting in very good times. Jason Absma dropping back now. Christopher Langeveld, only other guy below 1 minute 21s, him and Gabriel Rousseau. As we look at Gabriel Rousseau now, going through the S's uphill towards turn 6 and 7. I see Stephen Sparks. Okay, he is in the server. Seen Ismail. We're missing Amrish Senaran and Lorenzo La Corse. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but we do have 17 races on the server.
Yeah, so at the moment we've got Rousseau topping the times with a 20.2, 7/10 of a second faster than Chris Langeveld. Audi on the top, BMW on second, and we've got a Nissan in third position, and that is Wayne Wortley, who's been very impressive throughout practice through the weekend, also the last chance qualifier last week, of course. And but he's down a good 8/10 of a second on Rousseau.
Gabriel Rousseau, of course, a championship leader at this stage, also the defending champion from 2017.1 season. He's won both the races at Monza and Mugello. So he's in a commanding position in the championship, and if he can secure this pole position, he looks good to even strengthen his position more at the front of the championship.
Yeah, of course, Gabriel Rousseau unbeaten this season so far in the South African simGT series, Werner. And he'll be looking to maintain that record past this race as well, of course. And it's interesting to see if anybody can take it to Gabriel, but so far it doesn't quite look like it. But of course, Gabriel has to come up with a clean start and a getaway. And of course, we've got 66 laps this evening, so a long race, an hour and a half, and anything can happen.
Unfortunately, we don't have Bashir Jadwat here. He is in second position in the championship, and he's been a close rival to, well, as close as it can get to Gabriel Rousseau in the previous races. So it's unfortunate that we don't have him here. Christopher Langeveld fourth in the championship. He's on 47 points, 3 points behind Gabriel. And that's his debut season, so he's doing a fantastic job. As we look at him now, Christopher Langeveld still 7/10 off of Gabriel's pace.
And of course we've got our stuntman from Monza, Leslie Oliphant, who passed both of the Ghostworks Audis down the back straight towards Parabolic at Monza, and he's currently in 4th position, the 21.215, so another fan favorite there is Leslie Oliphant. Werner, I'm hearing myself through when I talk, so I'm not sure if you need to turn down your volume slightly.
Okay, give me a minute.
Thank you.
Better.
Yeah. We've got Bongi Mabida now, who's returning to the championship. First time this season we're seeing Bongi Mabida in the Netcare 911 Porsche, and he's popped up to 7th position of the 21.463. So good run there by Bongi. Let's see if he can even improve further with just over 7 minutes remaining. We've got Gustav Jacobs now up into 3rd position of the 21 flat. So Gustav hooking up that Audi nicely. And right on the tail of Chris Langeveld now. So we've got Audi from BMW, from Audi, from Nissan, from Audi, from Audi, from Audi, from Porsche, from BMW. And then Kerry Crawford also returning to the championship and top 10 at the moment for RPM Sim Racing team.
Look at Gustav Jacobs and Wayne Wortley, only 1,000th of a second separating them, and then all the way from 3rd position up to 11th, separated by only 6/10 of a second. Quite close, barring Gabriel Rousseau at the front there. Is the feedback gone, Jason?
Which feedback? No, yes, it has gone.
Said
Yes,
you
it
heard
has
yourself.
gone, Werner, yes.
Okay.
Van, if you could just do me a favor and just pop in the chat on the server and just tell Chris Langeveld that his ping is a bit erratic at the moment. You
Yeah,
can
I
just do
saw
for
that
me.
as well.
Just tell him in the game chat there. Thank you. So we've got Rousseau with a 20.2 provisionally on pole position. We've got over 6 minutes remaining. Langeveld is right there, just 100, a 10th behind him is Chris Langeveld in the BMW. And then we have quite a gap back to Wayne Wortley in the Nissan GTR. And he's a good 6/10 behind him. Gustav Jacobs right there with 21 flat. And Leslie Oliphant now popping up into 5th with a 21.132. Marcus 10 with 21.155. Lindsay Ray, Mabida, Swanepoel, Crawford, Heineke, Edwards, Ismail, Absmeyer, Geldenes, Varant, and Matthew Boy now has joined the party. And he's bringing up the rear of the field with a 22.373. So times are very tight here, Road Atlanta. We're sort of expecting this. And let's just see how the cars do throughout the race. And we've got a bit of a mix-up there of the brands, so that's great to see the different marks at the front. And it's not an all-Audi affair. Yes, we have an Audi on the front at the moment, but we've got Langeveld and Wortley flying the BMW and Nissan flags. Now watching Brent Lindsay Ray in the Echo Racing Audi in the 333 car. And on an outlap it seems. Let's see what he can do throughout the session. We've got Stephen Sparks in the purple Audi R8 just behind him in the Sparks Racing Audi.
He looks to be down a second and a half on his Delta, if I got it right. Stephen Sparks, so you can... Okay, he hasn't set a time yet. then Gerrit Kraft's also on a good lap. 2/10 down on his delta.
So we just got a second separating the top 7 drivers. That's incredible. And 2 seconds separating the top 16, or the whole entire field, you could say. So that's very impressive.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those races, and it's a fantastic circuit. I love Road Atlanta. Very technical. And I think it is quite difficult to pass, and that's what makes it exciting with a close pack like this.
Absolutely, they do really call this the Petite Le Mans race in the IMSA Championship in the United States, and you can see why it is pretty much a mini version of Le Mans if you look at the corners, and then you've got the twisty section that looks reminiscent of the Porsche curves as well. And yeah, we just had that race in the real world. Just I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was an incredible race to watch. And if you haven't watched it, have a search for IMSA in YouTube, and the rest is all there to watch. It was a fantastic race. And of course, we have our own version here of it at Sim Race South Africa, and that's what you're watching right now on this beautifully modeled track. And Gerrit Kraft now 4/10 up on his best delta time. Let's see what he can do with that. If he keeps it up, that'll put him right up into, it could be 7th position. He could unseat Marcus Steyn for 7th. Let's see what he can do. He's 5/10 up now, approaching 6/10, and pushing that RPM Sim Racing Team Audi. Let's see where he ends up. He goes 6th, even better. Wow, 21-1.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
With 1 minute 40 to spare, so you can easily fit in another lap.
And suddenly Carl Swanepoel goes 4th quickest too. The KDS Motorsport BMW working well. And Gabriel So on an out lap. He's not going quicker. Gustav Jacobs down in his delta. Oliphant, okay, he pulls off. Kraft's not going to go quick at this time around. Let's see what Marcus Steyn is doing. He's 3/10 up on his best delta time. Here comes the Ghostworks Audi. Through the chicane he goes. Yes, he's got a good drive out of that corner. Under the bridge, down the hill.
Almost 3/10 up.
This could give him 3rd position. Yes, it does.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yeah.
Sub 121.
Good run there by Marcus Steyn.
We got Yassine Ismail and Jason Absmeyer through the chicane at the moment. You see Jason Absmeyer, okay, he's up on his delta. Okay, it is his out lap, so he's going to cross the finish line with just about 12 seconds to spare, so he can still complete one more lap. He's currently 12th.
We saw Jason slowing right down before he started his lap, I think, just trying to get a gap to the car in front of him so it doesn't impede his run. And he's got almost 3/10 up in his best after time. Let's see what Jason can do now. So he's lost time through that section, unfortunately, getting that corner wrong. It's a very difficult turn too, that is almost blind before you turn into the apex. You sort of turn in with faith and hope you make it stick before you see what's going on. I did race on this track in the Virtual Le Mans series last season, and first time I went around the circuit I got lost about 4 times before I worked out where the circuit goes. So yeah, so you've got to hand it to these guys, doing a fantastic job. As Jason gets it all wrong out of there, unfortunately.
Okay, we got Gerrit Kraft and Matthew Boy coming over the finish line now, but I don't think any one of them will increase or improve their times. Then we got Bongi Mabida, he's exiting the chicane now. He's also up on his delta. Yassine Ismail, I think he's going to improve on his time. No, he will not. And our last driver, Stephen Sparks, he's exiting the chicane. And he seems to be I think he's going to improve on his time. He's in 18th. Oh! Okay, nothing changed. Okay, so there's our field. Finished with qualifying. We're waiting for the race to start now. A quick rundown of the times. Gabriel Rousseau. He's starting in pole position with a 1 minute 20.2. He qualified with the last chance qualifier. And like we said earlier, he's currently leading the championship on 50 points. He's got 2 wins under the belt in Monza and in Mugello. Christopher Langeveld only 0.18 seconds behind. He's tied for 4th in the championship on 45 points. And this is his debut season, really doing a fantastic job. Then Marcus Steyn, he's currently 5th in the championship on, or tied for 4th with Christopher Langeveld on 45 points. He's got a 1 minute 20.8. And right behind him, Wayne Wortley, also 120.8. Second, 120.855. Kyle Swanepoel starting in 5th place. He posted a time of 121.035. He's on 26 points. Also a debutant at Simrace SA, Gustav Jacobs. Another one with a debut season here. He posted a 121.0 as well. Only 1,000th of a second behind Kyle Swanepoel. Leslie Oliphant 121.062. Harriet Crawford 121.1. Those 4 drivers separated by only 500ths of a second between 5th and 8th position. Bongi Mabida, good to see him back. He posted a 121.257. Brent Lindsay Ray 121.3. Chris Heineken 11th 121.4. Jason Absmeyer 121.6. Nazim Edwards 13th. Matthew Boy 14th. Yassine Ismail, Peter Geldnay 16th. And then Wesley Frans, Steven Sparks at the back.
Unfortunately, we've had a new development. Chris Langeveld has not joined the grid, unfortunately, so I think he's dealing with ping issues, and he's decided to, I think he's actually left the server, in fact. So that's a shame. I was looking forward to seeing him taking on Gabriel Rousseau at the start, but he will not start this race, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get him back and get him back on the circuit. But the drivers are ready to start the formation lap. And we're going to make sure we're going to leave the grid and onto the pit
very
lane.
Important. And there we go. Do a quick camera switch. And be good.
Now it'll be interesting to see if Wayne Wortley can do anything about those 2 Audis up front of him. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do out of the corner before the long back straight, because that Nissan has a lot of grunt under that corner. And if he can put alongside one of the Audis, he would have a shot about breaking them into the following corner. And this is the section I'm talking about, and I've started the back straight on the formation lap. Drivers weaving, trying to warm up their tires and brakes. They'll be dragging the brakes while pressing on the accelerator at the same time. Just trying to get everything up into operating temperature as much as they can on this slow formation lap.
Cars bunching up now. They're going to, on the exit of the chicane, they will speed up. What is going on with the tower? Okay, well, let's go. Gabriel Rousseau leads the way out of the chicane around turn 11 and 12 over the hill. And he's going to cross the start-finish line. Here we go. To turn 1, quite a good gap behind him to Marcus Steyn. No passes as of yet. Christopher Langeveld, you said he... Okay, somebody's off there.
It looks to be Chris Langeveld.
It is Langeveld.
Yeah,
yes.
he's a lap down. He's rejoined the server.
Okay, so he's letting everybody pass and then he will rejoin at the back. He effectively missed the pace lap. Bad luck.
And Werner, if you can give us a rundown of who's on what tire, that would be fantastic.
Okay, just a second. My setup is not. Okay. It's very simple. Everybody is on mediums.
Everybody's on mediums, okay.
Yeah.
How boring, guys.
Come on. Where's the excitement in that? Except I'm cameraman. Okay, no, sorry. Got it wrong. Leslie Willifant is on a hard time. Only driver on a hard. So all the others on mediums. Leslie Willifant in second. He probably, yeah, so he might go long on his strategy.
We've got our first pass. It is Yassine Ismail who's taken Matthew Boyd for 12th position. It's Echo Racing against Synergy Racing. Echo Racing in the Audi. Yeah, that is Yassine. Matthew Boyd in the Ferrari.
Nazine Edwards, he's lost 3 places. He started in 12th. He's down to 15th, so he's made a mistake somewhere. Gabriel so he's still leading the pack out front. As we look at Yassine now, behind him is Matthew Boyd in the Ferrari. Steven Sparks, he went off the track at the S's at the back of the field. He's still slow.
Of course, we've got Wesley Ferrant in the Soul running Lamborghini. Also for Echo Racing, so Matthew Boyd is very much in the Echo Racing sandwich, as it were. And now under pressure, here comes Wesley Ferrant.
Wesley Ferrant. Will he dive up inside? No. Matthew Boyd going very defensive there. Oh! Losing the back end, sliding out. Nicely put it onto the exit road there. Fortunate for him. Look at Kyle Swanepoel, he's under attack from Gustav Jacobs. Come through turn 2 and 3. Into the S's.
So I think that was just the case of Wesley Ferrant just using a bit too much curve on exit, I think it was, out of that corner, and just unsettled the car, and Wesley was unable to regain the control of the car after that, unfortunately. So the curbs are brutal here at Road Atlanta. You can't really ride them at all.
Peter Geldenhuis also went off the track at the S's. Him and Steven Sparks there at the back of the field now. Oh, Bongi Mabida sliding out there, and there was contact. I think it was between Bongi Mabida and Jason Absmeyer. No, it was Leslie Willifant. Didn't quite see what happened there, but I think there was contact. Look at Gabriel Rousseau, already up to a 3-second gap ahead of Marcus Steyn. Marcus Steyn 3 seconds ahead of Wayne Wortley. So the car's already spreading out in front, only 4 laps into the race. I see at the back of the field Christopher Langeveld starting to unlap himself. Moving up quite fast. He's unlapped himself from Geldenhuis, Sparks, Ferrant, and he's behind Matthew Boyd at the moment. And Edwards. So
Trying to pull down attack from Gustav Jacobs. Jacobs trying to go on the outside. Swanepoel defending very well there. Seeing get a good drive out of that corner now. And I think it is Jacobs who's right with him.
It is a short home straight here over the start-finish line. I think the best opportunity is the back straight to overtake.
The BMW incredibly fast through the last combination of corners. He pulls the gap to Jacobs. Let's see if Jacobs can reel him in again. But that KDS BMW working very well here at Road Atlanta.
Can he do it this time? Gustav Jacobs getting a good toe. On the outside, might even pass him before he gets to the turn. No, this is going to be tight.
No, it's got him. Great
Fantastic
move there
job
by Gustav Jacobs around the outside, under braking. And suddenly Swanepoel's...
see the straight line speed. So Audi doing it there for him.
And suddenly Jacobs has also got Gert Crawford to worry about. He's approaching him rapidly. Is Crawford making a return to the championship? Great to see Gert getting stuck in once again.
We've lost Christopher Langeveld. Looks like he quit the server. He was down a lap as we saw him here. Jason Absma already up to 8th place. He started in 11th, so he's doing fantastic, as is Yassine Ismail. Oh, as I said, commentators, because he's losing places fast. Better off somewhere. Kyle Swanepoel under pressure again now from Gert Crawford. Just seems like he doesn't have the top speed to compete with these Audis. Exactly the same move as Gustav Jacobs did on Kyle Swanepoel.
We've got Jacobs off.
Got somebody off.
Oh, maybe contact. Oh, there's nothing that...
As he rejoined the track, that was unfortunate. As Jacobs was rejoining, he connected Kyle Swanepoel. Heavy damage to the Audi. Still careful.
Yeah, so they went pear-shaped very quickly. I think Jacobs has got it all wrong under the bridge. I think there's a slight bump there that can unsettle the car. And I think there's a bit of a tank slapper, and off he went, and he rejoined the circuit, and Swanepoel had nowhere to go, I don't think. So that'll be one to review later on, I'm sure. But Gustav Jacobs now with a damaged Audi R8, heavily damaged, and the rear wings also bent.
Yeah.
So that's not going to do him any favors.
Meanwhile, at the front, Gabriel Rousseau, Marcus Steyn, Wayne Wortley, they're all pulling away from the pack. Kyle Swanepoel has stopped. He stopped at the Aces.
Yeah, that was a big shunt for Swanepoel. I won't be surprised if the car is terminally damaged.
Yeah,
so it's
he's
a pity
cruising now.
Bongi Mabida now in 9th position. And he is trailing Chris Heenop in the Reaper Ghost Works Audi.
You can clearly see the veteran drivers, Gert, Crawford, Brent, Lindsay Ray, Jason Absmar, Leslie Willifant, just staying out of trouble. And already they gained 4 places. Gert Crawford gaining 3 places from the start of the race. Jason Absmar gaining 5 places. He started 11th. So just keeping it cool. It is a 66 lap race. A very long way to go. Staying out of trouble is one of the basics to getting it right. If you look at Bongi Mabida in the Netken 911, he's behind Chris Heenop. His last lap of 122.982. And he's gaining on Chris Heenop. Chris Heenop only did a 123.1.
Yeah, so I think this is quite the battle developing. And I think within the next 2 laps, you're going to see that Porsche and Audi going at it. So, Bongi driving incredibly well here at Atlanta.
Carl Swanepoel is in the pits. Okay, now he's out already. And he was in for 45 seconds, so he might have, yeah, he definitely repaired his damage.
Oh, we've got someone off. Who's that? Heenop's off.
Heenop,
I think that was an error. Off he goes, perhaps a bit of pressure being applied by Bongi, and off goes Chris Heenop. I don't think he's hit that wall too hard. He carries on going. He's got his teammate Nazim Edwards has passed him. The number 13 car, yeah, he's gone off.
The S's between turn 4 and 5 are really catching the guys out. It is the curbs, as you say, really unforgiving here at Road Atlanta.
Especially for a sort of a rear mid-engined car as well. I think it's even more trickier to regain control of that car once it lets go.
Gustav Jacobs now looking to make a move on Yassine Ismail. Very aggressive from him. He doesn't want to wait, he wants to make the move immediately.
Oh,
as we see,
So I think that bent rear wing had something to play there, and Jacobs lost control of the Audi through that turn 1 section, and he's fallen back now from Ismail. He's now under pressure by Nazim Edwards. So the 2 Reaper Ghost Works now behind Jacobs, and it'll be difficult for him to keep those 2 cars behind him, I think. So looking comfortable, ever comfortable in that mixed racing Audi R8.
His best lap so far on the race, 120.9.
We've got a request from the YouTube live chat that we go on board with Gabriel. So
as we see him, he's going to turn 6 and 7 now. He's got a couple of back markers in front of him. That's Stephen Sparks and Peter Geldnys. We go through turn 6 onto the back straight in turn 7. Geldnys going off, going farming. He joins behind Gabriel Rousseau. And the blue flags will be out for Stephen Sparks shortly. Gabriel Rousseau, his last lap was a 121.2. Stephen Sparks moving out the way for Gabriel. And in the background we can see Marcus Steyn as he comes into the chicane. Nice and tidy as always. Marcus Steyn 5.5 seconds behind. His best lap of 121.479. His last lap of 121.6. Gabriel's last lap was 121.1. So Gabriel is pulling half a second a lap on Marcus Steyn. Wayne Wortley's last lap 122.5. So he's lost 1.4 seconds to our race leader on the last lap. Gabriel Rousseau just pulling away.
And he's lost 0.4 to Gert Crawford, who's chasing him down too. So that gap will be coming down all the time. Although Crawford's a good 5.5 seconds behind him. But of course, you know, everybody's got their own strategy. Will the guys just be doing 1 stops or 2 stop strategy perhaps? We're not sure. It's got a long way to go. We've only done 13 laps of 66, so plenty of time for plenty more action.
Everybody on the medium tires except Leslie Oliphant and Carl Swanepoel seems to have switched to hard tires after he repaired his damage. So it's only Leslie Oliphant and Carl Swanepoel on hard tires, everybody else on mediums. Gert Crawford, he started in 7th, he's up to 4th at the moment, he's best lap 122.1. Interesting to note the sectors here at Road Atlanta. The last sector is very short, only a 9-second third sector. Starts right after the chicane.
Another driver is doing very well is Brent Lindsay Ray. He's just done a personal best and he's starting to close the gap to Gert Crawford. So Lindsay Ray putting the hammer down now and seeing if he can catch that RPM Sim Racing Team Audi in the Echo Racing Audi. But the fields are starting to spread out now. We've got the battle for 6th position. Oliphant, yeah, he's about a second behind teammate Absmeyer. And we've got a change in order there. Jacobs has got past Ismail. I think Ismail went off and Jacobs is back past. Ismail now falling back into the clutches of the Reaper Ghostworks Audis. And here they are. Heineken now ahead of Edwards. We're not quite sure what happened there. Perhaps a team play by Reaper Ghostworks, or Heineken went for the move and paid off. We didn't see that happen. So from all our starters, we just got 1 retirement so far, and that is Chris Langeveld, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was a lap down. So it was the pace lap. Heineken did sustain some damage on his Audi. Behind Ismail. On board now with Chris Heineken as we go into turn 1.
Error there for Ismail. Here comes
Heineken.
Heineken.
Give him good drive into turn 2 and turn 3. Difficult place to overtake here. To the S's. If he can perhaps get closer to turn 6 and 7, he can try to get him on the back straight. Not close enough this time. He is on the outside. Just see him going very defensive.
Heineken on the ragged edge last time to Ismail, unfortunately. They're pushing very hard indeed. Perhaps that damage that Heineken sustained now is telling. See that gap opening up to Ismail. Those got a good run through that section. Let's see if we can close things up through turn 2 and 3. Here we go. Blind apex. Heineken's absolutely flat out through there nicely.
Behind them, we can see Nazim Edwards and Wesley Ferrand also battling it out. They're battling for 13th position. Quite unusual to see these big gaps so early in the race between the drivers. And the other battle going on is between Leslie Willifant and Jason Absmeyer. Leslie 1 second behind Jason.
Yeah, I think it's got to do with, I think my personal opinion is this track is sort of testing everyone's personal consistency and like how often they can be on the edge. This is the kind of track that's challenging that, and I do suspect the consistency ratings to come down for this race, just because of the nature of it. The tight and twisty section got blind apexes. The curbs are very difficult to ride, easy to make an error, and I think that's just yeah, it's just part of it. It's the nature of the circuit, and it's sort of allowing the gaps to open up, unfortunately.
I think that's why you see some of the newcomers struggling a bit with consistency. They had fantastic qualifying times, but making too many mistakes. Wayne Wortley, well, he's in his debut season, he's doing a fantastic job in 3rd place at the moment. As we look at Gustav Jacobs behind the Ferrari of Matthew Boy, going in on the inside, but Matthew keeping it nice and clean. Gustav Jacobs is going to attack again into turn 12 onto the home straight. Sorry, he is on the inside. Brilliant racing. Matthew Boyce is still in front, and I think he's going to keep it into turn 1. He's going to stay in 9th place. But this fight is far from over. Matthew Boy started in 13th, so he's gained 4 places so far. Gustav Jacobs, after his mistake, he's down 5 places from 5th. Being very aggressive to fight his way back up the field.
Werner, we did say that most of the runners were on the medium tyre, and it was just Olifant that's on the soft tyre, is that correct?
It's only Olifant and Kyle Swanepoel on hards. All the other drivers on mediums. We are on lap 19 now, out of 66. I don't expect any 2 stoppers. I think it'll only be 1 stops. Gabriel Rousseau, with the pace he has, he's going to start catching up to the back markers pretty soon. He's at the chicane at the moment, and Nazim Edwards just passed the start-finish line about 2 seconds ago, so he's going to catch a lot of traffic within, let's say, 6 or 7 laps time, because he is lapping about 3 seconds faster than the guys at the back of the field. This is the battle for 6th place. Jason Absmeyer ahead of Bongi Mabida and Leslie Willifant. And in the background there we can see Steven Sparks, but he has been lapped. Jason Absmeyer, I don't think he raced in Monza or Mugello, so it's good to see him back at Sim Race SA.
can't give him a beater. He's down on his delta, 1/10 of a second down. His last lap was a 122.8, while Jason did a 123.1. So he did take 0.3 of a second out of Absmeyer on the previous lap. While Olifant also did a 122.8. Gabriel Rousseau sets a new fastest lap of the race, 120.891. Parrot Crawford new personal best lap, 121.964. So best sector times, Gabriel Rousseau fastest in all 3 sectors. And interesting enough, Wayne Wortley in the 3rd sector, he matched Gabriel Rousseau's time.
Oh, well, I think it's got to do something with the long back straight I was mentioning. Probably find the Nissan clawing back the time down that section. That is interesting, definitely.
Only Mabita's last lap was a 122.5, while Jason also did a 122.495. So these 3 drivers are quite evenly matched at this stage. Be interesting to see what happens come pit stop time. There's a battle going on for 13th as well between Yazin Ismail, Nazim Edwards and Peter Geldnys. So we got these 2 battles at this stage. Christopher Langeveld is back from the dead. He is 15 laps behind, unfortunately, but he is moving. There we see him. Maybe just stopped for a beer, quick nap. Here we go.
Perhaps he's going to try and get the fastest lap of the race. Let's see what happens.
Are we going to give a point for that or not at this stage?
A brownie point.
A brownie point. That'll do. Behind him at the back, okay, no, not yet, but Gabriel Rousseau is closing up behind him to lap him. I'll be very impressed if he can catch somebody and unlap himself. That'll be really impressive.
Wesley Ferrand has put a move on, but Hannike's fighting back. So great battle here. 2 battles developing, these 4 cars together. And if Wesley Ferrand can just line up that Audi before that long back straight, he'll be right with Hannike, I think. Oh, someone's gone off. I think Hannike's got off. Yes, he has. Here comes Ferrand. Ferrand's past him.
Hanneke's off, Ferrand is through, and also past Heineke now. Who's that? It's Yazin Ismail, Nazim Edwards now also putting pressure on Heineke. So Heineke losing 2 places there in the S's. These 4 drivers separated by just over a second at this stage. Coming down the back straight, Nazim Edwards. Not going to be close enough to make a move on Chris.
Again, Chris running wide on exit. He keeps it pointing in the right direction. But the 2 Echo, this is Echo Racing, the 2 Echo Racing, the Lamborghini and the Audi versus the Reaper Ghost Works Audis of Heineke and Edwards. 2 against 2. And who's that behind them? I think that's, yeah, that must be Peter Geldnys in the team Red Line Racing BMW, Langeveld's teammate. Geldnys now in 15th, behind Edwards, of course.
We are half an hour into the race. Gabriel was still in the lead, 15 seconds ahead of Marcus Steyn, Wayne Wortley in third. These three drivers are pretty much in a league of their own. And then we get Gert Crawford in fourth, and then we see this a battle going on for fifth place. Okay, no, it's Ben Lindsay Ray in fifth, Jason Absmeyer in sixth. He's got Leslie Uri van Bongen-Mabida right behind him. I see Bongen made a mistake on the previous lap. He lost about 3 seconds. And then we get to this battle that you see here, Yassine Ismail on the inside of Chris Heenop.
Ismail going defensive.
Chris
Heineke gets it wrong.
Oh,
Off he goes
Oh,
into the
it's
wall.
very hard.
That was brutal.
It's quite a brave move, you gotta say. I think he was clinging onto that steering wheel. Oh, he's still, I think his tires are overheating at this stage. Struggling to stay on the track. Chris Heenop down to 14th now. He started in 10th.
So Yassine Ismail will be breathing a sigh of relief after that error by Heineke. And where's the front, and the Lamborghini is now pulled away from this battle, and he's off and away in 11th position. And closing down Matthew Boy in the Synergy Racing Ferrari 488. This is Matthew Boy now down the back straight. And Boy was just passed by Gustav Jacobs, if I'm not mistaken.
And I see Gabriel Rousseau, he's right at the back of the pack, starting to lap guys. He's already passed Steven Sparks and Chris Heenop. And he's behind Christopher Langeveld and Nazim Edwards. Can we go to Leslie Oliphant in 7th? See Leslie Oliphant is less than a second behind Jason Absmeyer. I'm not sure if I got the latest skins. I see his car is just white.
No, in fact, I've also got the same issue, so something's happened there. Unfortunately, yeah, Oliphant had an updated skin for this race, but something's happened, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I have to check that skin file once again. My apologies to the RPM Sim Racing team. But something isn't quite right there. But nonetheless, Leslie running strong in 7th position.
.100 kilometers into the race. This track is just over 4 kilometers long, and average speed of 180.9 kilometers an hour. I see the top speeds now. I'm not sure if these top speeds are right, but it says Brent Lindsay rate 281 kilometers an hour.
What type of speed is Wortley doing?
Wortley, well, this was his top speed of the race, was 269. 9. So it's
Oh, wow.
quite. I'm not sure. I've seen glitches in this before. So
Okay.
I'm not sure that's 100%.
The first of our pit stoppers, that is Yassine Ismail, leaving the pit lane now. He's down to 14th position. And did Ismail change tyres, Werner, or the type of tyre at least?
Ismail, no, he's still on the mediums.
Still on the medium tyre, okay.
He was running in 13th, and he's 14th, so only losing 1 position during his pit stop. New personal best lap from Peter Geldenhuys, 123.7. That's still way off what Gabriel is doing out in front, 120.891. So Gabriel's fastest lap is more than 4/10 faster than the second fastest lap of Marcus Steyn. He's really outpacing the other guys. He is in the middle of the traffic at the moment. He's behind Matthew Boy and Wesley Ferrand. Looking at Wayne Wortley, his fastest lap was 121.867. His top speed 269.5. His last lap was 122.5.
Nice smooth driving by Wayne Wortley.
Quite a lonely race for him and Marcus Steyn. Huge gaps between the top 3.
Turns the car in nice and calmly. Lets the car do the work. Trying not to upset the car as much as possible. Using as much of the track as possible. Using the curbs on the outside. So towards turn 1 we go. A dip and then a steep climb up the hill towards turn 2. Turn 2 is a blind apex, difficult to get right. Spot the orange marker. He's done it perfectly. Catches a bit of air, not too bad. Then down the hill. This snake-like section. Using the curb to turn the car slightly back on the power up the hill. Using the torque of that big 3.8 V6 motor. Braking nicely, turns it in. Bit understeer there. It catches it nicely. Back onto the long straight. So Wayne Wortley driving very nicely indeed.
I see Christopher Langeveld has stopped his car again. And yeah, he's quit. He's out of the server, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Chris Langeveld was reporting in the YouTube live chat he was battling with CPU usage. So, and that they said, of course, if your CPU is battling, you get a warning across the top of the screen. And I think that's what Chris Langeveld is battling with, unfortunately. So hardware issues here for Chris Langeveld and the team Redline Racing BMW, and unfortunately having to call it quits. So it's a shame. He was on the pace with Gabriel, and I think we were in for a showdown between the two drivers. But it's not to be this evening, unfortunately. But perhaps the next one will be like that.
I think we can expect some pit stops from this lap, probably in the next couple of laps. as we approach the halfway mark. Wesley Ferrand right behind Nazim Edwards, coming down the back straight. Will he dive up the inside? No, not quite close enough this time round.
This is in fact Ferrand and Heineke.
Yeah, it's Heineke.
Heineke's caught up to Ferrand again. Always front. We had an issue. I wonder if he's fallen back. That Lamborghini is looking a bit damaged in the front. And they've got Marcus Steyn, who's second overall, approaching them. So he'll be looking for a way past to put a lap on them. But these two are very much involved in their own little battle.
Holden-Jones was in the pits now, and he's out still on the mediums.
Heineke lets Steyn past, but Steyn's going to clear Ferrand, and I think Heineke's going to try and follow Steyn through and pass Ferrand too if he can. Let's see if Heineke can get. Well, he's falling quite a way back, unfortunately.
He dropped a bit far back.
I think Heineke was a bit too generous with his.
Absmeyer in the pits as well.
Absmeyer in the pits. That's interesting.
As is Steven Sparks and Gustav Jacobs. Gustav Jacobs enters from 9th position. Sparks enters the pits from 17th. Exactly on the halfway mark in the race. Oh, and he missed his pit box. Gustav Jacobs. He had to move there. As we see, Absmeyer exits the pits in 12th. So he dropped from 7th to 12th. And he is still on the medium tires. Steven Sparks exits in 17th. Also on mediums. So no changes in tires. And this is Ferrand with Chris Heineke still behind him, putting him under pressure. So none of our top 11 drivers have made their pit stops. From Jason, Absmeyer and the rest of the field down have all made stops. I think Marcus Steyn is in the pits. Yes, Marcus Steyn enters the pits from 2nd position. I can see in the pit lane times, Gustav Jacobs 57 seconds in the pit lane, all the other drivers 45, so he clearly missed his pit box and cost him 12 seconds. And very unfortunate for him. Crawford and Wortley now passing Marcus Steyn while he's in the pits. Drops down to 5th as Brent Lindsay Ray comes past. And he exits in 5th.
Jason Absmeyer just put a move on Wesley Ferrand. He goes up to 11th.
Mabida in the pits.
Yeah, Mabida's racing Absmeyer, I think, for 7th position. So let's see where Mabida comes out in relation to Absmeyer. Perhaps Mabida's got the undercut on Absmeyer. Let's see what happens now.
It was actually before the pit stops. It was Absmeyer, Willifant, then Mabida. So it'll be interesting to see. Where's Willifant? Willifant's in 6.
Mabida's leaving the pits, and here comes Absmeyer. Let's see what happens now. It's going to be close.
Rousseau also
there goes Absmeyer.
As we see Mabida, I think Absmeyer is going to get him.
Yeah, he's going to get him easily.
Yes, clearly, yeah.
He's got a long pit exit here.
And Willifant is yet to stop. He's in 6th place. Gabriel Rousseau, He's in the pits, and I think he's going to stay in first position. Wortley in the pits as well, as is Crawford, and Rousseau is out of the pits, still in first position. Leading every lap of the race so far, not losing any positions in the pits. Lindsay Ray in the pits from 4th. Chris Heenop exits in 13th place from the pits. We got Brent, Lindsay Ray, Wortley, Crawford all in the pits at this stage. But I'm looking for Willie Font. He's running in 3rd. He's yet to make a stop. Be interesting to see where he exits in relation to Absmeyer and Mabida. Oh! Got somebody off there.
Who was that? It's one of the Reaper goes towards the Audis.
Heenop. Heenop is losing a lot of time on this lap. Still no change in the tyres. Leslie Willifant on hards and Kyle Swanepoel on hards. All other drivers on mediums. As Matthew Boy is in the pits. Jason Absmeyer just put up a new personal best lap, 122.1. So his kind of undercut move is clearly working on Willie Font and Mabida. Absmeyer running in 8th. However, Nazim Edwards and Leslie Willifant still have to make their stops. Chris Heenop in the pits, 14th. The cars are spread out very evenly around the track now. Everybody has been lapped up to Yassine Ismail, so only the top 9 runners haven't been lapped so far by Gabriel. Another personal best from Jason Absmeyer. As we see Matthew Boy, he's looking to make a move up the back straight. Or was he being passed by Gustav Jacobs? I lost that now. I missed that.
I think Jacobs put a move on Boy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, I see Jacobs was behind Boy.
This is about the closest battle on track at the moment, so we'll stay with Matthew Boy and see if he can take it back to Gustav Jacobs, but it doesn't seem likely at this stage as Jacobs pulling away. They've got Marcus Dane bearing down on them. To put a lap on those two drivers, and all approaching Peter Keldernes too to put a lap on him. Keldernes down in 16th position.
There we see Marcus Stein right up behind Matthew Boy, and I think that's... Oh! That's a bit wide as he lets Marcus Stein past. Willie Funk and Edwards still have to make their stops. And it seems that Willie Font is really pushing those hard tyres of his, extending his stint.
Perhaps we're going to see Leslie Oliphant not in fact changing tyres and just coming for a quick stop and then leave straight away. make that count as a pit stop. The drivers just have to bring the car to stop in the pit lane and they will count as a pit stop.
Brent Lindsay Ray losing positions. He's made a mistake somewhere on the track.
Oh, it's the wall. Big spin.
Oh! Horrible. Unfortunately, just after the pit stops. Does he have damage? Yes, it does look like. Windows are intact. Nice shatterproof windows. Doesn't look like he has very bad damage. As we see Matthew Boy in the pits now. Matthew Boy, this is his second stop. Jason Absmeyer commenting there about Brent. I wonder if they had a coming together somewhere. I think Matthew Boy is definitely repairing damage. As you can see the back wing of his car. The back wing of his car to the right there. If he exits and that's fixed, we'll know he's in for repairs. Bongi Mabida running in 8th. And behind him you can see Chris Heenop. But Heenop is a lap down on Mabida. Matthew Boyce still in the pits. Very long stop. And he started moving again. So we look at Absmeyer behind Edwards. As I said, Edwards still has to make his stop. Absmeyer getting a good toe on the back straight heading towards the chicane. Oh! Very brave move, fantastic. Diving up the inside, hard on the brakes. Absmeyer. Nazim Edwards was going defensive, but Absmeyer had nothing of that. He just moved past. Brilliant move.
He sort of dummied right, then went aggressive left. And sort of reminiscent of what Daniel Ricciardo was doing at the last Grand Prix at Kota this weekend. And diving in from the left side. But yeah, good move there by Jason Absmeyer, pulling the move on Nazim Edwards. Surprising him with a move. It's worked out in his favour. Absmeyer now up into 6th position. And he's 8 seconds behind teammate here at Crawford. No, it's a bit longer than this, but 9 seconds or so.
The thing to note is he is only about 30 seconds behind Leslie Oliphant, so he's going to easily jump Oliphant with the pit stops. Mabida, Oliphant and Absmeyer were running very close prior to the pit stop, so the pit stop's really working out well for Jason Absmeyer. And the new tyres, he's putting up personal best after personal best lap. Last was a 122.8. Matthew Boy was in the pits for 1.5 minutes, so he definitely made some repairs. He's running in 15th at the moment. Gabriel Rousseau, he's got Chris Heenop in front of him. He is going to lap Heenop for the second time. Looks like Heenop has got a little lag issue.
In fact, Rousseau moving offline behind Heenop, not to sort of run right behind him, just in case there is a lag spike there by Heenop.
Did you also see that lag?
I did not see it, no, but perhaps Gabriel's noticed something. Gabriel just trying to cover all bases if he can. We've got a good 20-second gap back to Marcus Steyn so that you can afford to do this and not be on the absolute ragged edge. But there again, just moving offline.
He's still putting in fast laps. His last lap was 121.95. Marcus Steyn did a 122.7. So he's lapping 7/10 of a second faster than Marcus Steyn. Actually, Marcus Steyn just crossed the start finish line with a 121.6, so he closed 3/10 of a second on Gabriel. Still looks like Chris Heenop has got a ping issue.
Yeah, I can see the Audi moving around now. I think you'll let Gabriel pass now.
You can clearly see Gabriel's very careful.
He's not happy about something, definitely. Werner, you're quite right.
Very cautious.
Pass safely. Oh, start area there by Steyn. It's perhaps a lapse in concentration. The guys have been going for about an hour, but over than an hour. And still another half an hour to go. But definitely this is mentally draining, especially on a circuit like this where you're generally always on a corner.
Definitely very demanding circuit.
Yeah, and besides that long back straight, you're pretty much on it all the time. Wayne Warty now closing the gap to Leslie Oliphant. That's gap down to about 4.7 seconds.
Wortley did take 4/10 of a second out of Leslie on the previous lap. So he is lapping faster. He's 4 seconds behind. Nazim Edwards really pushing these medium tires of his. He hasn't made a stop. It's 45 laps into the race. Leslie Oliphant, I can understand, he's on the hard tires. Nazim on mediums. Last lap was a 124.1, so I think these tires are wearing out now, and he has to make a stop soon.
On the slipstream. Let's see what he can do.
We saw Absmeyer pass Nazim Edwards about 3 laps ago, and he's already 7 seconds ahead. And Nazim, as I think he is diving into the pits. Yes, he is. Now it's only Oliphant still to make his stop. His hard tyre is really working for Leslie. His best lap was a 122.4 and his last lap was a 122.7. So it's quite consistent, his hards. And guessing he's going to lose about 40 seconds in his pit stop. He might drop down to about 8th place. He was running in 8th till about lap 29 when the pit stop started. No, he was running in 7th, so it'll be interesting to see what happens after he makes his pit stop.
Of course, Oliphant might have a shorter pit stop if he's actually not going to change those hard tyres. Perhaps they can go the race distance. So he might have a shorter stop than 45 seconds.
I don't think he's going to make it on one tank of fuel. He's definitely going to have to put in some fuel, but yes, his stop will be shorter. I'm looking at the pit lane times. Everybody is around 45 to 47 seconds. Except, like I mentioned earlier, Gustav Jacobs 57 seconds after he missed his pit box. And there we see Matthew Boy. He made 2 stops, and you can see the back wing of his car is fixed now, so he definitely did make some repairs. It cost him 1 minute 20 seconds. But his lap times have improved since he repaired that damage. Garrett Crawford running in 5th. Started in 7th place. He's lapping 1 minute 22.1 on his last lap. Peter Geldner is disconnected. That's unfortunate.
What do you be wondering now? When is Leslie Oliphant going to do his pit stop finally? He wants his 3rd position back.
Still looking at his lap times, he's still sub 123. So he will definitely push as far as he can. He's not losing any time on his lap times. But looking at the gaps between the drivers, I think if he pits, yeah, he'll probably be in 7th or 8th. Probably around 8th. And then it didn't really pay off for him, as he was running in 8th before the pit stops. Blue flags out now for Boy, as Oliphant's closing up behind him. I see blue flags out for Bongi Mabida as well, as Gabriel Rousseau is lapping him. Then Gabriel's lapped everybody up to 7th. No real battles going on at the moment. The smallest gap is Wayne Wortley to Leslie Oliphant, 3-second gap. Cars spread out very evenly around the field, around the track, sorry. Gustav Jacobs, his fastest lap was 121.8. the 4th fastest lap of all the drivers. The fastest was Gabriel Rousseau with a 120.8. Marcus Steyn with the 2nd fastest lap, 121.3. Jason Absmeyer actually 3rd fastest lap, the 121.7, and then Gustav Jacobs 4th fastest lap, a 121.8. He does have very good pace. He's running down in 9th. He started in 5th position. Look at Kyle Swanepoel in 13th, and in the background we can see Gabriel Rousseau and Bongi Mabida. And with 200 kilometers into the race, 178 kilometers an hour average speed. Willie Van still stays out, already 51 laps on this set of tyres.
One still doesn't come in, so it says on the lap. 52 laps on one set of tires. That's impressive, Leslie, even if it is the hard tire. And he is, yeah, still bettering his delta time all the time. He's got a 10th up in his best delta time. So clearly making that Audi work. The question is, when will he come in to do his pit stop, and where will he end up?
I'm already impressed with the fuel load on that Audi. I mean, he's done more than an hour, 200 kilometers and still going. I really doubt that he's going to be able to do 66 laps, one fuel tank, but nevertheless he will have a quick stop, just a splash and dash.
See when what he now reeling him in. Does he come in now? No, he doesn't.
Wortley's last lap 122.1. Olifant a 122.6. It seems like he's closing in at a half a second a lap. Coming through the chicane, 54 laps, and Leslie Olifant still stays out. I wonder if Wortley knows that Olifant hasn't made a pit stop yet.
I'm not sure if you would know that or not. He might not know, and he might be going for an aggressive move, and he doesn't have to. Let's see what happens.
He doesn't have to, since there's a 30-second gap to Marcus Steyn ahead, and he's not really under pressure from Gerrit Crawford. Is 10 seconds behind. So if he knew that, he would probably just wait it out, because I'm guessing Olifant's going to make his stop either this lap or the next lap.
Wortley with a cheeky look up the inside of Olifant just to let him know he's there. See what the Nissan can do now.
This is where you need a crew chief that can give you info like this and know that you don't really have to take chances at this stage. A race engineer.
Somebody off. Who's that?
It was Edwards. He's getting out the way. I think this will give Wortley. He is on the inside of Olifant. No, he's still not going to be close enough to make his move. 56 laps, and wow, he stays out. Amazing. I'm really impressed. I didn't think they could take so much fuel. I think this is the longest stint I've seen at sim races.
Yeah, definitely in the GT series, definitely.
And he's making it work because of his lap times that are so consistent. Putting in all his times under 123.
See Oliphant actually pulling away from Waterley in that last lap.
There he goes.
There we go, finally. So let's see how quick this pit stop is and where he comes out. Crawford will go through to 4th position. Watley, of course, up into 3rd.
Absmeyer is going to be the next one past, and then Mabida.
Oliphant's away, but Absmeyer is going to come through.
That was very quick, but Absmeyer is going to pass him. Where will Mabida? Is no, he's
well
right
back.
at this. Yeah, he's back. You see Gabriel Rousseau, so Oliphant exits right in front of Rousseau. He's going to get a blue flag immediately.
And is Oliphant still on the hard tyres, or has he changed?
He's still on hards.
Okay, he's actually just gone off now as well.
So yeah, he didn't change. I'm guessing he didn't change tyres at all. He just got a splash and dash, and off he goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, tyre strategies. Everybody's stuck to their mediums, except for Oliphant. He didn't change tyres at all, taking the hards and taking it all the way through. And Kyle Swanepoel was on medium tyres, and he put on the hards after his early stop. Only 8 laps to go. Gabriel Rousseau coming up behind Jason Absmeyer. Lap him. Rousseau's last lap for 121.5. That pit strategy did actually work for Leslie. I was guessing he was going to exit around about 8th, and he exited in 6th, so he did make 2 places with that strategy of his.
Okay, well, so it's quite a net game for Oliphant. I was wondering if it made quite a difference. I was wondering if he just sort of did a one-stop on medium, so he probably would have ended up in the same position, but I think you're quite right. He's actually gained 2 positions by doing that strategy, so interesting stuff there by Leslie Oliphant. Great to see. Being creative with the strategies. And it's worked out in his favor. So, there we go.
Now that we've seen that this could work, I expect next races people will consider this option. Going hard and really extending the stint. I see Oliphant was running in 7th up till lap 30. And that's when all the pit stops started. So he gained 1 position. He was running behind Absmeyer at that stage. And yeah, he's still behind Absmeyer. Brent, Lindsay Ray, I think he dropped off to 8th.
Okay.
So that's the position he gained.
Yeah, I think as you say, we might see the strategy used more often, especially on a longer circuit. We perhaps encountering traffic so quickly as well. And of course, the longer you run, you'll fall back into less traffic later on when you do your pit stop. So yeah,
I'm looking at his pit lane time. He had 29 seconds in the pits, so he scored 16 seconds because he wasn't. He didn't have to change tires. He just had a quick splash of fuel. So 16 seconds, you got to weigh it up how much time you're losing on the hard tires compared to the mediums. Rousseau is now past Absmai. He's lapped everybody except for Crawford, Wortley and Steyn.
Another dominant run here by Gabriel Rousseau. So still 5 laps remaining, but certainly on course to take victory.
Absmai is the driver that has made up the most places. He started in 11th, going up all the way to 5th. Quite impressive. And Absmai is actually the fastest driver on track at the moment. His last lap of 121.7. Wesley Ferranti is running in 12th, started in 16th. His last lap of 123.01. And just about 25 seconds behind Nazim Edwards and the gap of 20 seconds to Kyle Swanepoel behind him. "250 kilometers into the race, 3 laps to go. Gabriel Rousseau has been leading every lap of the race. See, Nazim Edwards is closing up on Yassine Ismail for 10th. Look at Yassine now. Edwards' last lap was 7/10 faster than Yassine. He could get up into the top 10 before the end of the race if he can close in on Yassine now. His current pace. As we see him, he is getting a toe now on the back straight in the red Audi. Quite a lot faster. You can visibly see him faster than Yassine, and he is on the outside. He will be latest on the brakes. Yassine going defensive. Oh, it goes wide, and through goes Nazim Edwards.
There was a bit of a bump and a run, as you call it. But
No, on the
Edwards,
foul, I
Edwards
don't
putting
think.
a move on Ismail, that's correct. Oh, and off goes Ismail. So, yeah, off goes Edwards.
Wesley Front is 20 seconds back, so fortunate for him, he's not losing any places with that off. And that was Gerrit Crawford that we saw in passing, just seen as he went off. Now with Gabriel Rousseau on the penultimate lap.
We're witnessing a dominant drive there by Gabriel, so I think even more dominant than the first 2 rounds of the championship, and with a 30-second lead back to second place man Marcus Steyn, and lapping everybody up to Jason Absmeyer. That's an incredible performance. And Rousseau really stamping his authority on this championship. And, proving absolutely unbeatable at the moment. A man on form.
And he's really opening up a gap on the points table for the championship, because Leslie Oliphant and Bashir Jadwat were tied for second position. Leslie finishing in 6th, or running in 6th at this stage. Bashir not in the race. So Gabriel looks set to get another championship if he keeps this up. He's going to have his 3rd win. He can finish this lap.
Of course, Gabriel defending his Drivers' Championship from last season, and on the way to make it a 2nd Drivers' Championship for himself in 2017.2. And he now goes down the back straight for the very last time in this race. And I think you would have thoroughly enjoyed this race at Road Atlanta. Had a difficult race in the Virtual Le Mans series last season. Driving for RSA Pro Sim Sports, but last corner for him now, or second last corner. Under the bridge for the last time. Always made an error. Slight error. Just proving that he's human after all, but Rousseau wins here at Road Atlanta, his 3rd victory of the season, 3rd in a row. Steyn is 38 seconds behind to get 2nd, but congratulations to Gabriel Rousseau. That was a thrilling performance. And here comes
Marcus.
the Ghost to Saudi.
He's coming through the chicane for the last time. Marcus Steyn, also a very great drive from him.
Absolutely.
He's going to finish in 2nd. And another 30 seconds behind him is Wayne Wortley. Wayne Wortley in his debut season. Doing a fantastic job finishing on the podium today.
And he'll win the GT AM class in the AM class for drivers taking part in the first series of the Pro Series at Sim South Africa. Congratulations to him. Great drive and an overall podium in this race. Incredible drive. Gerrit Crawford returns to the championship to take 4th overall. Stunning drive by him. And Absmeyer too returning to the championship as well to take 5th overall. The RPM Sim Racing Porsche. And here comes Leslie Oliphant. Oliphant's already finished the race, of course, because they're lap down. Oliphant gets 6th, Mabida 7th, Lindsay Ray 8th, Jacobson 9th, and Nazim Edwards completes the top 10. Isman 11th, Ferrant in 12th, Swanepoel 13th, Chris Heinecker gets 14th, Matthew Boy 15th, and Stephen Sparks rounds up the field in 16th position. Well, I think that concludes round 3 of the championship at Road Atlanta. From me, Jason Holden-Jones, thank you very much for watching. And thank you, Werner. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Jason. Enjoyed this race.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And don't forget, we have the second split to this championship, the South African simGT Challenge, happening this Wednesday evening, same time as this evening's race at 8:30. Also a 90-minute race. So until then, all the best until then. Goodbye.
Bye.